The military worldwide has always had their own way of doing things, and this includes having their very own language. The South African Defence Force, or SADF, used a strange mixture of Afrikaans, English, slang and techno-speak that few outside of the military could hope to understand. Some of the terms were humorous, some were clever, while others were downright crude. Other armed forces around the world also have their own slang terms. This article looks at just a few of those slang names and terms. Obviously, we had to leave out some of the more crude and offensive terms, but I'm sure most of you will remember them. Here is but a small sample of military slang. Used by the British Army, an admin vortex refers to a disorganized soldier. Used by Allied forces in World War II, an admiral of the Swiss Navy was a self-important person. Of course, Switzerland doesn't have a navy. A Rhodesian army expression meaning let's go, let's leave this place. In other words, let's agitate the gravel. Used by the British Army during World War I, an Amen Wallah was a nickname given to priests, padres, chaplains, etc. Archie was a British nickname during World War I to describe an anti-aircraft gun. In the Australian Army, tin milk is better known as armoured cow. During World War II, when Allied forces talked about an army banjo, they were actually talking about a shovel. During World War II, Allied forces would refer to prunes as army strawberries. The UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter was nicknamed the Army's lawn dart because of its inability to stay in the air. It was also known as a crash hawk. Asino morto is Italian for dead donkey. It's also the nickname given by the Italian Army to canned ham. During World War II, Allied forces would refer to butter as axle grease, a derogatory term referring to an Irish reservist soldier, comparing him or her to a sandbag, in other words, useless. An Australian Army cook is nicknamed a bait layer. This is a person who drops poison meat to kill dingoes. They are also known as a ration assassin. Battery acid was a slang term in the SADF given to concentrated cool drink that was mixed with water. A bayonet course was hospital treatment for venereal diseases. Bayonet refers obviously to the person's penis. To receive a bee sting means to be given some form of punishment, either drill or PT. To become a gold star in mom's window was a gentle way of saying that the person had been killed in action. In the British military, a blanket stacker is any storeman, even if he doesn't deal with blankets. A blister mechanic was a nickname given to a medic. Blair refers to a recruit in the French military. Derived from the French term for barely cooked steak, it symbolizes a raw recruit. Blowgat was an expression used in the SADF to describe a national serviceman who had reached the halfway point of his initial national service. It's an Afrikaans expression literally meaning blue arse. A friendly fire incident is known as a blue-on-blue contact. Allied stretcher bearers in World War II were known as body snatchers. A US Navy term, Bohika, stands for bend over, here it comes again. An SADF slang term for an infantry soldier, Bokop, is derived from the Afrikaans word bakhead. The emblem of the infantry was a springbok's head. A boomer is a US Navy term for a nuclear ballistic missile submarine. A boozer is an Australian term for a pub or bar. Bottle sunshine was a nickname given by Allied forces in World War II for beer. A slang expression common to the Rhodesian Light Infantry, or RLI, Bola se ages exe, simply meant, what is the time? Exe is an Afrikaans expression meaning, I say. Box 500, or simply Box, is a nickname given by the SAS to MI5. MI5's official address is PO Box 500, London, a slang term used to describe Provita biscuits. In almost every military force, top-ranking officers are known as brass or top brass. An expression used by navies worldwide, Bravo Zulu means well done. Brown Navy was a term used to describe the South African Navy's Marine Corps. They wore the normal brown uniform of the South African Army as opposed to the Blue Navy, who were the seafaring element of the Navy. A Rhodesian expression, Bundu, means the bush or the countryside. When SADF troops lived in a bungalow or dormitory, one of them would often be put in charge. Although this troop usually had no rank, he was known as the Bungalow Bill. During World War II, can morale was a slang term for a movie. In the Australian military, canteen medals are beer or food stains on the breast of a shirt or jacket. A nickname for the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War, shortened from the phonetic alphabet Victor Charlie for VC. A cherry is a US military term for a new recruit still in basic training. Chibuli is a Rhodesian slang term for beer. A chicken parade was basically a cleanup of an area, picking up papers, cigarette butts, and general refuse. In the Navy, this is known as skirmishing, a Rhodesian military term for news from a commercial radio station. A slang term given to hamburger patties. Crap hat is a term used by members of the parachute regiment to denote what they class as lesser regiments, taken from the fact that they wear the coveted maroon beret that no one else wears. Culling was the Rhodesian Army slang for killing the enemy. In World War II, the oldest member of a group was usually called Dad. A dart thrower is a nickname for a member of the Australian Intelligence Corps. Refers to the perceived method of identifying compounds or areas of interest for future operations, usually conducted eyes shut with non-masked hand to ensure statistically random results. A devil dodger was a slang term for a padre, chaplain or priest. In Afrikaans, it was known as a seal tiffy or soul mechanic. A dicker is a lookout, usually used to describe an enemy. A friendly lookout is a stag. Australian nickname for a paratrooper. Dirty Gertie from Bizerti, an expression used by the Allies in World War II to describe a promiscuous woman. A dos bag is slang for a sleeping bag. Egyptian peachy is an expression for sleeping, particularly during the day. It probably dates back from World War II or even before. An elephant virgin was a slang term given to a slice of polony. Injun mountings was a slang term given to tin braised steak. Fish and chips is an acronym for urban warfare. It stands for fighting in someone's house, causing havoc in people's streets. In the SADF, a chef was often nicknamed a fitter and turner because of his ability to fit food into a pot and turn it into shit. A flat dog was a Rhodesian nickname for a crocodile. A flossie was a slang term for the Hercules C-130 transport aircraft. Frelimo, the National Army of Mozambique, were known by the Rhodesians as Freds. A Gimpy is the nickname given to the L7A2 GPMG 7.62 by 61mm belt-fed general-purpose machine gun. In the British military, a military prison is known as the Glass House. In the South African Defence Force, it was known as DB, or Detention Barracks. A go-kart was a slang term used for a 20-man toilet. These were fiberglass toilet shells which were placed over a hole dug in the ground. They were mounted on wheels for easy movement. In the British Army, the regimental sergeant major is known simply as God. A gong was a nickname given to a medal, usually a campaign medal. Green slime is a nickname given to British Army intelligence personnel. GV was a term used to describe someone who was very enthusiastic. It was short for the Afrikaans grensvechter or border fighter. Jippo was a term used for avoiding work. A person that was lazy was known as a jippo gut. Jippo guts was a slang term for diarrhea. Used by the Rhodesian military, hondo was the Shona word for war or conflict. Houding is an Afrikaans word meaning attitude. A person could have a goeie houding, a good attitude, or a slechte houding, a bad attitude. Interflora, a derogatory term used to describe a member of the South African Corps of Signals. The emblem of the winged figure of Mercury was also used by the national florists, Interflora. Jimmy, a slang term for a signaller or a member of the South African Corps of Signals. Jol, an Afrikaans expression for a party. Jolly Patrollie, an Afrikaans expression used to denote any excursion or activity regarded as fun. It literally translates as Jolly Patrol. The K-car was a nickname given to an Alouette 3 helicopter armed with twin FN mag light machine guns. The K stood for kill. Katunda was a Rhodesian army expression for a person's personal kit. It comes from the Shona word for products. A Kettenhund was a nickname for German military police in World War II. The term originated from the chain and badge they wore as a symbol of their duties. Lemon was a term used by both the SADF and the Rhodesians. It was normally used to describe an operational patrol which produced nothing. Minda is an Afrikaans expression meaning few days. This was used by troops who had only a short time left before they completed their military service. Minda chips is a slang term for cornflakes, a popular breakfast cereal. MMWC refers to the leader or person in charge. It stands for Man What Counts. A Mujiba was a young insurgent supporter. The insurgents regarded them as their eyes and ears. If something was really nice or good, it was referred to as being mushy. This originates from the Ndebele expression muhle, which means nice. The word muti was used to describe medicine of any description. Noddy car was a slang expression for an Elan 60 armoured car. In the Australian military, a numpty is an individual who just doesn't get it. Olifant skulfers is a slang term used to describe cornflakes. It's an Afrikaans expression meaning elephant dandruff. Oman was a term used for troops who had only a short time left of their national service. It's an Afrikaans expression for old man. PBs was a term used to describe the local population. It comes from the Afrikaans words plaaslike bevolking. Pineapple was a nickname for a hand grenade. Pongo was a slang expression for members of the army. It referred to the often unavailability of washing facilities. The expression, everywhere the army goes, the pong goes, was the origin of this. A veteran of World War I fighting in World War II was often referred to as a retread. Ruffie or roof was a term used for a new recruit. It comes from the Afrikaans word meaning scab. Santa Maria was a nickname given to SADF-issued underpants. They were hardly ever worn by the troops, but rather used to polish floors or boots. An Australian nickname for a corporal. This expression meant put your rifle onto automatic, a slang term for tinned mixed vegetables. This was a nickname for lion lager. It comes from the Shona word for lion, shumba. Number 17 is another nickname for lion lager. Just turn the tin upside down and it's easy to see how it got the name. Skrapnel hunde was a term used to describe a meal consisting of shredded chicken. It's an Afrikaans expression meaning shrapnel chicken. Sleeve trash is an Australian nickname for NCOs, or non-commissioned officers. They wear their rank on their sleeve as opposed to officers who wear theirs on their shoulder. Slot was a Rhodesian expression meaning to kill. For example, I slotted this guy at 200 meters. Sniffle Tiffy was the nickname given to somebody who was in the intelligence corps. It comes from the Afrikaans sniffing mechanic. Staldak was the Afrikaans term for the helmet that was issued to SADF troops. It was hardly ever referred to as a steel helmet though. Even English-speaking people would refer to it as a staldak, a regular term among soldiers to both stay calm and stay alert. Suurstofdief was a derogatory term for those in non-combat roles. It's an Afrikaans expression meaning oxygen thief. Used by the British Army, it means to march quickly with full pack and rifle. Tampax Tiffy was a derogatory nickname for a medic. Tampax is a brand of female tampon. Taxis were strips of cloth or blanket which were wrapped around your boots so as not to dirty or scuff a floor that had just been polished. A Tiffy was either a mechanic or a member of the Technical Services Corps. Tits up means to be killed. Tommy was a German expression for a British soldier. Tommy Cooker was a World War II German nickname for the American Sherman tank. Because the tank operated with a petrol engine, it would often burst into flames if it was hit. An Australian acronym which stands for Thumb Up Bum, Brain in Neutral. Fussbait, an Afrikaans term meaning bite fast. It was used to encourage each other. Vindaloos is a nickname for fire-resistant underwear issued to the Special Air Service. They are named after a particularly hot Indian curry. Vleisbom was a derogatory nickname for the South African paratroopers or parabats. It was usually used by non-parabats. It's an Afrikaans term meaning meat bomb. South Africa's answer to the Russian multiple rocket launcher nicknamed the Stalin organ was, of course, the Foster Orgel, or Foster organ. This was the nickname for the Valkyrie 127mm multiple rocket launcher. Stalin Oral refers to the late President John Foster. In the operational area, toilet paper was very scarce, which was probably how it got the nickname white gold. Used by the Royal Marines, yomp means to march quickly with a full pack and rifle. In the British Army, this is known as tabbing. Thanks for watching. Trust you enjoyed it. Please feel free to leave a comment and remember to like, share this video, and please subscribe to our channel.